I have to say I'm so very CEO help. I ask you to bear with me. This is the first time I've spoken to such an illustrious group. You don't have what is without what was. I come from a very active family group. I stand on the platform of my family group. I'm going to share with you, they tell me between the age of 2 and 3, I lived with my grandma and my grandfather, and every morning my grandmother would walk me into her room when I was a little over 2, and she asked me to remember something. I'm going to recite that something that has been with me all the days of my life. It goes like this. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. My grandmother invited me to that, and it has stayed with me. It has covered me in perilous times, times in Vietnam when I didn't see a way through. That prayer covered me. And I'm going to start this by asking you, please, by show of hands, how many people with a top secret clearance in the room? By show of hands, how many people with a cryptographic code word clearance in the room? Well, Hershel Hayward Hamilton Jr., when he went into the military, he was awarded a top secret clearance. He was awarded a cryptographic code word clearance. That means I would select, based on certain information, whether or not certain intelligence required a code word. I was a first-generation member of the National Security Agency in 1961. When this was a segregated society, this country said, you're the guy we need to go to Turkey and to look across the Black Sea. And there's a country there, and we want you to monitor every bit of intelligence they try to send. And I was really good at that. I was really good at capturing the intelligence of people who were trying to do us certain harm. I was really good at that. So I was a first-generation NSA guy. I started at the absolute top, trying to get into the National Security Agency. I started at the absolute top. You can't get any higher in this country. I did that work for 5-6 years. I'm also a Vietnam veteran. I spent 2 tours of duty, 65, 66, 67, and 68 in Vietnam. And my mother said she didn't recognize the person that returned. I went there as a former NSA guy. I didn't even recognize the man that returned after his second tour of duty. That period period of performance hurt me, and it hurt me badly. But I have significant bounce back ability. I gotta tell you, I can bounce back from anything, thank God. I think it has very much to do with that prayer. When I came back to the United States of America after my tour of duty, ironically, I came back in April of '68. Martin Luther King was assassinated 2 days after I came back from Vietnam. That was really extraordinary because I was in a city called Chicago and it was burning down. I came out of a nightclub listening to the modern jazz quartet. After being in Vietnam, I figured a little levity, a little jazz in my life and everything, and I come out of that and people are invited. It looked like a war zone again. I didn't understand it. It was amazing. And I have to tell you, I was very powerfully affected by that also. But when I got out of the military, I was quite fortunate. I did some things along the way. We have a program here called Project More. I wrote the original program plan for Project More in 1974. It is still providing services for people returning, reintegrating from the prison systems here in this state. I'm also a certified Chamber of Commerce executive. I was Director of Information Systems for the Bridgeport Chamber of Commerce. I was also, thank God, invited to be on the team called IPI at APCO Textron. That was Industrial Productivity Improvement. I was Technical Reports Administrator on the M1A1 Main Battle Tank build at APCO Textron in Stratford. So I've had some rather significant positions of responsibility along the way. I was always relatively good at what I do. As I say, I have great bounce back ability. I'm presently volunteering with HAVE, that's Help a Vet Every Day. I think our veterans need to be helped in any way possible, and I mean every day. I received my first welcome home last year from another G. No one had ever said welcome home to me. I've received my 50-year pension. So over 50 years, I had never heard welcome home until last year. Because when I came back from Vietnam, that was during a time when, folk didn't like the Vietnam War very much, so we didn't get a lot of welcome home. So it was really, it really felt good to have someone say, welcome home, and thank you for your service. I know I don't have a lot more time. I'm going to sort of close this. I want to close this by saying I was reintroduced to someone not long ago who asked me to help her with something. I like to do a lot of volunteering, even though my grandpa once told me he watched me volunteer a lot, and I wasn't getting paid a lot. He knew I had a great skill set, a lot of information. I've done a lot of things, and he called me and he said, Hershel, if I sound a little Jewish, it's because my name is Hershel. He said, Hershel, how's what you're doing profiting you, and if it don't profit you, why you do it? I thought that was brilliant, but I had to learn that profit is not always money. Profit can sometimes be just the interaction you have with another person, and you grow and they grow, and that's very profitable. And I met someone that has enhanced my experience so much. She invited me to help her build a Christian school, a school to be called the Chestnut Leadership Academy, a Christian school. I invited her here because there were going to be so many people that touched the world of the Spirit. So I invited her to be my guest. Her name is Maria. Would you stand, please, Maria, so they can see you, please? There's Maria. Her vision to build a Christian school is just great. But I need to share with you before I go what Columbus House has done to me. I went to the Harkness Halfway House for Veterans. That was a great experience. And then I met some of the staff from Columbus House. The staff is a superior, dedicated staff that have invested themselves in getting the work of Columbus House done. I mean, when I hear from Kevin Pauling, it's an uplifting experience when I hear from him. I know something positive is about to happen. He's going to make a suggestion that I'm going to say, yes, I'll go do it right now. Because I know he only has my best interest. He works with Carl. Lisa has been great in my life. She wrote the story that appeared in the Columbus House annual report. So everyone from the Columbus House programmatic experience has had just an uplifting, very supportive part in my life. They introduced me to the people from HAVE. The people from Help a Veteran Every Day saw my story in the Columbus House. And they saw that I didn't have AC. So they came to give me an AC. And who gives you stuff? So when they gave me the AC, I just wanted to find ways to help them. And so I kept nagging them until they gave me some business cards and said, here, be our project coordinator. And which is cool. So I get a chance to create new ways to help get them money to continue to help other vets. And that kind of stuff, I don't mind volunteering. Hope my grandpa don't get mad. So I can only say the best things. I'm a guy that was homeless off and on for 7 years. Once upon a time, I had walked so much, my feet had swollen up so badly, I was just walking that I sat down on a curb and a cop rolled by and said, can I help you in any way, dude? And I had on this hat. And I just couldn't walk anymore. And I had to he called an ambulance and they took me to the VA hospital. So homelessness is no joke. When there are systems of organization designed to do something, to treat homelessness in some favorable way, support them in any possible way you can, I do, and I intend to continue to do that. And thank you very much.